I asked Bobby Ladd about Poochie, who's alleged to be the person that killed Biggie, just about his character and if he was somebody that you wouldn't want to mess with, which you've talked about before, and he kind of reiterated it.
No, but I knew Poochie very well. I investigated that guy on a lot of stuff, man. That guy was he was like I always say he's gangster. He's straight gangster, man. That guy did a lot of stuff. He was definitely an enforcer for Death Row Records. I investigated him on a shooting earlier in his career, his gang career, I would say. But no, I wasn't around in his murder in 2001. The sheriffs had taken Compton Police Department over, and I left to Garden Grove Police Department in 2001 when this happened. So I didn't have anything to do with that investigation.
Okay. But from your experience, do you feel like Poochie was much like Orlando in the sense that he was one of these serious guys that you do not mess with, that he wouldn't hesitate to kill someone?
Most definitely, that guy wouldn't blink an eye about killing you. Um, he was always in the mix, man. That guy was. He was always in trouble and always running from the police, and that dude was crazy. So yeah, I believe that he had the mentality to do what he did if he did it.
I noticed all the comments though. People said, "Oh, wasn't he a Sherm head?" And why are they scared of a Sherm head and this and that. So, I just wanted you to speak a little bit about Poochie, if you would, and if it was true, if he was a Sherm head. I don't know, but I just wanted to get your thoughts on Poochie.
Never heard that about Poochie. Never heard of him being a Sherman. Uh, but like I tell y'all, I done told y'all this before. I said it about 2 or 3 months ago. All of those niggas at one time or another, prior to the mid '90s, were Hidden Rocks or Sherm. 95% of them that 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 I talk about, say were the tough ones in this. Every neighborhood, most of those guys at one time, that's how they used to get their courage, in my opinion, was smoking on that Sherman and Angel Dust back in the big the mid '80s, early '80s. Uh,
If you or your child spent years growing up on social media and experienced serious mental health struggles, you should hear this. Recently, a jury ordered Meta and YouTube to pay millions for their role in designing and promoting addictive platforms. They knew their apps could contribute to anxiety, depression, and body image issues, but did not share those risks while prioritizing profits. The recent historic verdict underscores the consequences of those decisions. Now Morgan & Morgan is stepping up to hold these platforms accountable for the harm they've caused. Click the link in my bio to take a short quiz. You may be entitled to potential recovery of up to $1,000.
the rock cocaine. Rock cocaine was a little different because it made you look different. It made your fingertips was all burned. It was sucking on a glass pipe, so that's like sucking on a dick. So he said sucking on a glass dick. Um, Crackheads, news that was on crackhead, they were a little different. They hid that from their homies when they were doing that. The worst that they may cop out to is rolling it up in a primo. That means some marijuana and breaking up the crack cocaine and smoking it like that. But they all done had those addictions. Every last one of them. Ain't one of them that I can think of that ain't had that addiction. Either Sherm or crack or primos. And so, but to say he was a Sherm head, like somebody walking around smoked out and all of that, no. None of those niggas was when Death Row was in their heyday. Uh, no. And if so, they were hiding it, and you wouldn't been able to tell. Um, but yeah, so whoever putting that information out about Poochie, I don't get it. Poochie got shot up. I'm surprised. I wish we would have followed up the question, asking him about when Chin, when him and Chin got killed in the car together, not killed, shot up in the car together. Uh, he could have told that story, and then how he rehabilitated himself after being in Rancho, uh, in the rehabilitation place in Downey for about a year, and he got back on his feet, and then that's when he went and started doing his retaliation. But yeah, Poochie was that dude. Um, you know, no, I never heard about him personally being on Sherm, but it wouldn't doubt me if at one point in his life that he either smoked Primos or Sherm, but he wasn't a Sherm head, somebody walking around that you'd be like, nigga, get away. He was never that type of dude. So, yeah.